it's time for Penn State and Temple all over Beaver Stadium. A beautiful day.
Hands off to number 26, JoJo. Anthony Scarano on the return. Quarterback is number 7, Chester Stewart. He's passed. It's to go first quarter. Ohio State 7, Troy nothing. Game 3 on the play. First and 10 to the Nittany Lions at the 22. That is the end of the first quarter. No score between Penn State and Temple. For more information, information, go to visitpa.com. White House under the lights.
Let's go.
For what? She had her. Yeah, that's what she said to herself. She was like, that was the worst thing I ever done. She was just like, yeah, obviously, no one does that. You're not meant to do that yourself. Yeah, we thought of it. Because she was talking
6
about
yards
her
on the
piercing
game.
tattoo. Yeah.
Third down. Temple 3. Fans, don't forget everyone, wear white next weekend and show the nation why we are the greatest show in college football. Donated by the class of 1960. In the conference home opener with Illinois, White House. This week it's 14 and under. You can stop by the fans and tours to pick up your Penn State football collector's card. And the doors to the Jordan Center open in 2 days a month. Next Saturday. Respect the environment and spring time.
I think we're anxious to find a way to.
Yeah, he's good in space. He's a good tackler. He's very athletic. I think he's where he's at.
I got patience.
On the sideline, Temple and 15th ranked Penn State from here at Beaver Stadium. The third member of our broadcast crew, former Penn State All-American wide receiver Kenny Jackson. Kenny.
Hey guys, how you doing up there? Beautiful day. Penn State has 3 great receivers, senior receivers, that leader of the team. Before it's all over, they're probably going to break every Penn State record, probably on most of mine. But the good thing about these young men, each week they've gone out and played excellent. The team is going to have to depend on them each and every week to make explosive plays. No different today. Thanks, guys.
Kenny, thanks very much. Kenny, by the way, held 27 school records at one point. I liked it how he dropped in there. Some of his records are going to go by the board.
He reminded me of Johnny Miller calling golf, talking about his champion. The 63 at Oakmont. Did you ever shoot a 63 at Oakmont there, Jackson?
Oh, that's Jamal Chilter, sophomore from Brooklyn, New York. Back for Temple. Penn State won the toss and have deferred. So Temple will receive the football to begin this game. Perfect conditions, really 57 degrees, not bad at all. Humidity's up and a relatively light breeze out of the southwest. Kevin Kelly to kick it away to get us underway from Happy Valley. And here we go, a low kick that skips to the 10-yard line. And Schulters breaks to the near sideline. He's to the 40 and tripped up at the 42-yard line. So it was a short kick and returned beyond the 40. Great starting field position in this game for Adam DeMichael and the Temple Owls. 5 TDs, 3 interceptions. DeMichael's a senior from Stowe Rocks High School. He's from Keys Rocks, Pennsylvania. He's averaging 205 yards passing per game. And we mentioned his connection to Penn State. Originally signed a letter of intent here to play for the Nittany Lions. Decided to try baseball. Now playing for the Owls. 1st and 10 from their own 42. And a handoff is to Joe Jones. Now running right to the 47-yard line, the fake, and the quarterback, DeMichael, advances it beyond the 45 to the 47. Now for the Rotel starting lineup. Bruce Francis, the team's leading receiver last year against Penn State, 6 catches for 75 yards. Their center, Alex Darenthal, is a Rivington Trophy candidate, and he makes his 39th consecutive starts. On 2nd down, looks right, throws left, it's completed. Jason Harper very close to the 1st down into Penn State territory. Look at the Penn State defense. Well, with Evans and Caroma still suspended, Aaron Mabin has stepped up with 4 sacks. The linebacking core, Josh Hull, originally a walk-on. He mans the middle. And in the secondary, safety Anthony Scarrato, a former South Jersey Player of the Year at West Deptford High School. With 2 plays and a 1st down for the Owls. They're at the 46-yard line of Penn State. Jones, the lone back, with DeMichael in the shotgun. Puts it in the gut of Jones, and he's immediately wrapped up. A tackle for loss. Losing about 3 yards is Jones. Josh Gaines making the tackle. For the first negative play for Temple, they came out. 2 plays and a 1st down, and now face 2nd down and 13. Ball back near midfield. No huddle offense here for the Owls, but we see a lot of this today.
We see it just about every week. I just love when they get up to the line of scrimmage and the whole team looks to the sideline and lets the coach call the play.
DeMichael throws too low. He's looking for the tight end, Steve Maneri. And that's going to set up a 3rd down and long.
Well, this is the down you play for in football, 3rd down. Obviously, the longer the yardage mark, the better chance you have to get off the field. And I know that that's what they're thinking right now. They should get off the field right here and force Temple into a punting situation.
We saw Al Golden, the head coach in his 3rd season at Temple. He was a tight end here at Penn State back in the 89 to 91 seasons. 3rd down and 13 from the Penn State 49. DeMichael, heat from the backside. He's wrapped up and dropped. Aaron Mabin comes around. He gets his 5th sack of the season. And DeMichael shaken up, kind of favoring that right shoulder.
Well, you'll see him here come off the corner. You know, one thing they talk about Mabin is that he's got great speed to come off the corner. You have got to protect the blind side of the quarterback.
Jeff Watney's punt. That's fumbled, but Scarrato picks it up, and he finds a hole. And is tripped up at midfield. The punter, Watney, gets him. Otherwise, Scarrato may have scored, but that began very ominously for Penn State, as Scarrato had to pick it up off the turf. Derek Williams did not field it cleanly. Scarrato in the right place at the right time.
I don't know what the reason is, but a lot of times you see someone bobble the ball and it turns into a good return. I think because the guys covering down on the punt pull off. They worry more about recovering the ball than tackling the ball carrier.
Well, with the return, really almost no net. With the ball brought up near midfield, and the first carry, Royster mounts his way into Temple territory. Darrell Clark, of course, is the starting quarterback for Penn State. Number 17 looks at the play chart. He has, on the season, 5 touchdown passes, no interceptions. and is averaging about 175 yards passing per game. He also has 1 rushing touchdown this year, and it's not the only rushing touchdown he's going to get this season, I bet.
I would think that would be a safe bet, Mark.
After a gain of 5, second down and 5 at the Temple 45-yard line. Williams goes in motion and thrown to the near side. Deion Butler quickly bumped out. He has a first down at the 37-yard line of Temple. 11 Royster, averaging 8 yards per carry, 102 yards per game, 6 touchdowns so far in the year for Royster. And on the line, center A.Q. Shipley fought the flu last week at Syracuse, feeling better this week, but his backup, Doug Klopax, tore an ACL on Tuesday in practice and is out for the season. Our Rotel starting lineup. On first down, bouncing it left, Royster, but met for a gain of just a couple of yards. Defense for the Temple Owls. Nice line up front. Andre Neblett is a junior from New Jersey. He had a fumble recovery against Penn State in their meeting a year ago. High backing core. Amara Kamara is a sophomore who was the only true freshman to start every game last year for the Owls. And in the secondary, cornerback Jamal Schulters. He is the younger brother of 10-year NFL vet with Miami, Lance Schulters. And Jamal had an interception last week in their loss at Buffalo. Clark, a little underthrown, but complete at the 32-yard line to the tight end, Mickey Schuler.
One of the amazing things, and you already alluded to this, Mark, Temple returns 21 of 22 starters from last year. Galen Hall, in visiting with this week, he said you put last year's film on, you put this year's film on, it's the same guys. Everybody's there. It seems like the same team, that they're a little bit year older. A little more familiar with the coaching system.
There's a third down and 5, and this is the area of the offense that Clark and Penn State have been very effective in. Clark running right now under pressure, is dropped, loses the football, kicked out of bounds at the 41-yard line. I'm going to say he's down, sacked at the 42. Jaquan Jarrett, free safety, came up and dropped him.
Mark, they haven't been good on third down. They've been phenomenal on third down. Not so much here. Not only didn't they convert, it took them out of field goal range. Big play by Temple.
Jeremy Boone only had to punt 7 times through 3 games to begin the year. Will punt on his first possession of the Nittany Lions. That bounces inside the 5, and Nittany Lions are going to down it near the 2, so Temple's going to be backed up deep in their own end for their second possession of the game. Well, Joe Pa is on the sideline here in Happy Valley.
Big Ten Network.
38-yard punt by Jeremy Boone down at the 2-yard line, so that's where Temple will begin their second possession of the game.
You know, Mark, that's a 38-yard punt. If it goes 2 more yards, it's only an 18-yard punt because it comes out to the 20. I think we ought to change that statistic in college football. I keep talking about it.
Adam DeMichael and the Owls start at their own 2. Here comes the blitz off the edge. A completed pass to Francis. Get some breathing room and across the 10 to the 13-yard line. Looks like a first down. Let's take a look at today's Suzuki ATV's keys to this game.
For Temple, they got to move the change and gain field position. They've done a pretty good job there on defense. Minimize Penn State's big plays. 1 out of 8 plays for Penn State goes more than 20 yards. For Penn State, they've got a better team. Ball protection, they can't.
DeMichael sacked back at the 6-yard line. Aaron Maben already his second sack of the game. Number 6 on the season, a loss of 8. And Maben's getting the playing time. Maurice Evans started the year at the left end. Out again along with Abe Karoma, still suspended. And Maben's taking advantage. Sophomore from Maryland. A second down and 17. Back at their own 6. And Chester Stewart Throws it out near the 10. Pick up 4 yards. Hull, the linebacker, came up to make the stop for the Nittany Lions. Look at DeMichael, who missed the last 5 games of last season with a broken leg. And Temple really started to turn their season around. They'd won 3 games in a row, and DeMichael got hurt. Then they dropped 3 of their first real drive to get inside the 20 now of Temple. Well, just inside the Owls 20. First down for Penn State here early in the second quarter. Clark looks to throw. There's lots of time. Throws across the middle, wide open. The tight end. And into the end zone for the touchdown. Brett Brackett. Well, he's a big receiver, 6'6", 234-pounder. It's his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, right down the middle of the defense, and he's wide open and caught the ball, and they allowed him to get yardage after the catch. Mark, you talked about Penn State averaging 55 points a game, maybe more impressive, 35 points the first half, shut out in the first quarter. If they're going to keep that record going, they got to get on their horse here a little bit.
Going after for Kelly. 7-0 Nittany Lions. So the touchdown reception for Brett Brackett, sophomore out of Lawrenceville, New Jersey. And that Penn State offense is on the board. Brian Sanford, number 52, one of the defensive ends for Temple's the one that put the late pressure on Clark and gave him a pretty good lick as well. So it's 2nd down and 10. Handoff Royster. Cuts right through. Inside the 10. Touchdown. 7th touchdown of the season for Evan Royster, and it's 13-0 Nittany Lions. Right up the middle. 32-yard touchdown run for the sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia.
That hole there. I want to tell you, you and I could have ran through there. Credit the offensive line.
Kelly's point after. 14-0. So it's been a 20-yard touchdown throw to Brett Brackett, and now a 32-yard touchdown run for Evan Royster. It's been the 9:28 to play in this second quarter. Penn State leading 14-0 in a game that was scoreless through the first quarter. Joe Paterno, bum right leg, and there's Al Golden, mid-season head coach for the Owls. Penn State, first down from the 11, and Clark's going to run it. He was going to find the end zone easily. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. 11-yard touchdown run for Darrell Clark, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year.
Mark, that's what we've been talking about. When they start calling his number, doing those plays, believe me, as they go through the Big Ten schedule, you're going to see more and more and more of that because it's effective. And does it give defensive problems?
So Clark's 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. Kelly comes on for the extra point try. Footer bangs it through. 21-0 Nittany Lions.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Pat Devlin now. Not because, I mean, Clark's doing great, but they've had a history early in the game to play Pat Devlin because he deserves it. He's a good player.
Clark basically right up the middle here.
And I'm sure they've got the ability to run Clark. They're not going to overdo it when they don't have to, because when you run your quarterback, you've got to assume that he's going to take some hits. And not that he's not a big, tough guy, but you don't want him taking too many hits.
Well, after being held scoreless through the first quarter, the Penn State offense, which is averaging 55 points per game coming in, has put 3 touchdowns on the board in just a little over 5 minutes. Adam Chester Stewart, the quarterback, dodges Maben momentarily. Maben wraps him up for a loss. Well, today's principal edge of the game. is Beaver Stadium. Stadium capacity over 107,000, and the student section over 21,000, both the largest in the nation. Largest stadium capacity, largest student section in the stadium in college football as well. And you're seeing coming into the left part of your screen, that's the student section. They may be a little tardy getting to the game with 12 noon kickoffs, but they get here. Stewart being chased and sacked. Navarro Bowman into the sack for the Nittany Lions. Active leaders. Butler right now second. Norwood and Williams also in the top 5 in the conference active career receptions.
Mark, when the Penn State program was struggling a couple years ago, Joe talked about all we need is a couple players to turn this around. And then all of a sudden he got Williams, and he got Norwood, and he got Butler. And not only were they receivers, but they heard people carrying the ball in reverses, and they kind of ignited this program. And still to this day, you tell me how those wide receivers are going, I'm going to tell you how Penn State's going.
There's Butler and now Clark. There was a penalty offsides. Coming around, Williams tripped up at the 23-yard line.
As I talk about wide receivers on them and execute those type of plays.
Norwood goes in motion to the right side, empty backfield, and Clark, quick strike into the end zone, touchdown. Graham Zug. And this Penn State offense was quiet in the first quarter. It has exploded here in the second. 17-yard touchdown catch for Graham Zug.
Well, you'll see the slot. He'll come, get right underneath there. Now, you got to remember what's happening here, Mark. In this whole offense, they motion the back out to a no-back set. Well, right away, a linebacker has to bump out to cover one of the inside receivers. The remaining linebacker has to worry about quarterback draw, because that's what they got hurt on last time down here. So he doesn't get out under the under coverage fast enough. The guy on the slot man lets him inside. It's wide open. Touchdown. Easier said than done if you're a defensive coach, I can tell you that.
That's a nice spotlight. Al Golden, who was a tight end for Penn State, graduated in 1991, but he's not the only Penn Stater on their staff. Mark D'Onofrio, he's a defensive coordinator, graduated from here in 92. And don't forget about Matt Rule, who's the offensive coordinator for the Owls, graduated from Penn State in 1997. And you mentioned Galen Hall and Tom Bradley, who's the defensive coordinator for Penn State. They don't get a foot in there, so it's second down and 10 from the Owls' 48. 3 receivers this time, 2 to the right. Devlin looking in that direction. Goes underneath. Corliss, the tight end, stumbles to the 32-yard line of the Owls for a first down. Clock continues to roll. 70 seconds left.
No, the clock
down at 18. Devlin pump fakes. He's going to go towards the end zone. Incomplete, leading Butler. Harris again had coverage. Dominique Harris, the strong safety for the Owls, have been busy on this Penn State possession. Here's another look at it coming your way.
Mark, I'm going to tell you what my call is here. They've got a shot at the field goal, but it's long. I would go with
It's in Pennsylvania, Downington East High School, who holds just about every prep career passing record there is in this state.
Talking about walking around campus yesterday, we ran into some students from Downington, and that's the first thing they told. Man, they're proud of that guy. They go to the game, and not only are they rooting for the Lions, they got one of their home guys out there playing.
Well, Kelly is going to attempt a 44-yarder. He has 3 of 4 in field goal attempts this year. And he connects. And Kelly's made a concerted effort to improve his accuracy on the longer field goals, and he connects there to make it a 31-0 Penn State lead that they take to the half. So an explosive second quarter for Penn State. This was a scoreless game through 1 quarter, but Penn State averaging 55 points per game, puts up 31 in the second quarter. Touchdowns from Royster, Clark, Graham Zug, and Brett Brackett. We're at the half, 31-0 Penn State.
Here we are.
performance Mycogen brand grain corn hybrids. Contact your Mycogen Seeds dealer. Penn State leading 31-0 here early in the second half. You see us up here. We're playing the Where's Joe game. Well, we're up here, and about 25 feet directly below us is where Coach Joe Paterno has now wound up for this second half. There's Joe with the headset on. You've heard of John Gagliardi. He's from your neck of the woods, right?
My good
Minnesota?
friend John Gagliardi.
Gagliardi, yeah.
I would say he's a great coach, but he's a piece of work, and I mean that in a positive sense. I've been up.
We've been involved in the greatest game and the greatest experience anybody could be in. And some of you are out there have used your football experience to bring up your families, take care of your businesses, to look back with great memories, great teammates, guys you could trust, guys you loved, guys you'd go to war with tomorrow. We're so lucky. We're so lucky.
Very well put, and Coach Paterno.
And Mark, we're so lucky to have had the opportunity, and hopefully to continue to have the opportunity to be around Joe Paterno for a long time. That's one of the highlights we have. We come here to Penn State and Friday we sit down with him, and it goes on for about an hour, and we wish it would go on all day, just sitting talking to him. The guy is amazing.
What a treat. Al Golden getting a handshake from Tom Bradley, the defensive coordinator, with Joe Paterno up in the coach's box during the second half. And the final seconds will tick away, and Penn State will go to 4-0 with a 45-3 win over Temple. It was a scoreless first quarter, but then the Penn State offense came out of hibernation early in that second quarter. Go on to the easy win, 45-3. Al Golden's Owls fall to 1-3, their third consecutive loss. But definitely big steps being taken in the Temple football program.
No doubt about it. I'm impressed, and I got to see this program a couple years ago firsthand playing against them, and I can't describe, Mark, the improvement that Al Golden and his staff has done, and it's not easy. If it's easy, anybody could do it. He's getting it done.
That's going to take care of things.